Would we want to be ourselves if we could create the perfect version of us? Would we be able to compete with digital people who don't get sick or age? Can we send our virtual avatar to work and earn instead of ourselves? All about these interesting questions and how to create these lives, we will tell you in this issue. Virtual or digital people are already a part of our society. For example, Lil Michela is a virtual influencer, model, and singer with 3 million Instagram followers and fashion contracts from brands such as Calvin Klein, Chanel, Burberry, and Fendi. She shoots with real models, appears on magazine covers, releases music videos, and talks about her social activism. Michela was created in part by Brood Studio, and it's reported that about $16 million were spent on her development. The character is as realistic as possible and not limited to just virtual reality. It fits perfectly in real photos and real videos. Isn't ageless and disease-free Michela, whose success has spawned the creation of many similar characters, a future replacement for live models and bloggers on Instagram? Another interesting example is Miku Hatsune, a Japanese virtual singer created by Krypton Future Media back in 2007. Her voice is synthesized using technology of sampling the voice of a live singer using the Vocaloid program. Miku's songs have been topped in the Japanese charts. She's recorded music videos and performs live concerts, including with other artists, thanks to her pseudo-dimensional projection technology on a semi-transparent screen. Her popularity peaked in Japan around 2010 or 2011, but she is still touring and the character has become an integral part of the country's pop music culture. There are many other examples besides these. Take this one. Former Game of Thrones star Macy Williams became a digital avatar as part of her new role as a global sustainability ambassador at H&M. And during the quarantine, a concert was held in virtual spaces. Travis Scott hosted it on Fortnite, and the bands The American Football, Baths, and Anamanaguchi hosted it in the Minecraft universe. These are some of the examples of the general trend towards virtual lifestyles, which Mark Zuckerberg recently voiced most loudly when he said that the Metaworld, that is, the virtual reality with realistic human avatars, is the undisputed future of the internet. We've recently told you about Meta Universe in the episode you can find here in the tip. But first, let's try to understand, why do ordinary people in the first place need a virtual avatar? An avatar with a special appearance, makeup, and hairstyle that's created by 3D designers or digital studios for specific purposes is called a custom avatar, and it can be created in 3 different ways. Let's look at them now. The first is from a photograph, when a photo of a prototype is literally stretched onto a ready-made dummy with minimal facial volume correction and standard figures. The second is sculpting, a technique that allows the avatar creator to sculpt the character as a sculptor in a special program, and here, the results depend on the sculptor's hand. And the third way is 3-dimensional scanning and sculpting, and in this case, the creator works with a scanned 3-dimensional image of the customer, clearing the figure of noise, smoothing out the skin, and finalizing textures. After all, people tend to want to see an improved version of themselves. Beautiful avatars boost self-esteem and have a positive effect on self-image. Think of the movie Surrogates. You can use avatar makers to create your own avatars. They are Daz 3D, MetaHuman from Unreal Engine, and Character Creator, Maya, Blender, and others. The process takes about a month, and in the first week, the studio creates about 80% of the avatar, and the rest of the time is spent on the finalization and coordination with the client. So the specialists have to work out literally every millimeter that's created of the model. Then, the style and clothing is created. Here too, their own programs such as Clothes 3D or Marvel House Designer. Despite the fact that the clothes are digital, they're made like real clothes. First, the patterns are modeled, and then the details are stitched on the avatar, and finally, the necessary physical properties are given to the fabric, beautiful folds and creases to boot. And last, the designer uses textures to apply colors and textures to the fabric. But why create these in the first place? Well, for different purposes. They're realistic virtual assistants and consultants, TV presenters and journalists, medical and educational workers, but most of all, avatars today are in demand in the fashion industry. 3D models are already taking the work away from classic runway models. For the fashion industry to transition to digital significantly reduces the production process, allows creating digital fashion shows, and presenting the buyer goods which don't yet exist. Moreover, such shows are not limited to what's possible in the real world. And thus, Russian digital studio Mayam presented 2 shows on the International Digital Fashion Week. In the first one, Ksenia Bezuglova's avatar, a beautiful model in a wheelchair, was flying over a virtual catwalk, demonstrating limitless human capabilities. And in the second, the brand Ikulska presented a show condemning the fast fashion, which causes irreparable damage to the environment. Many experts now believe that the future of e-commerce is augmented and virtual reality. For example, Fit Analytics platform collects data about the size and fit of products on shoppers, and then creates a virtual persona and uses it to make recommendations, taking into account their purchase history as well. But avatars can do so much more. A digital copy of Deepak Chopra, for example, is a software product designed to promote the books of a real writer, establish a personal relationship to their readers, and possibly continue the writer's life after their physical death. The writer themselves believes it's a good option to carry their ideas and values to people in the future. But creating complete copies of famous personalities carries with it the potential threat of them being hacked and used for deepfakes. That is, starting to say things their prototypes would never say, literally deceiving their fans. But the very idea of preserving avatars of deceased loved ones also has many followers. For example, the startup Hereafter AI has launched a platform to create voice avatars that can endlessly tell loved ones' life stories, provide valuable advice and guidance from experience, and bring all important memories to life. They can be listened to at will via the app or smart speakers, and photos accompanying the story of past events can be uploaded to the app. Each avatar represents the unique personality of its creator, who makes small talk, tells jokes, sings songs, and uses the distinctive manner of the person's speech. But did you know there's also separate digital people in their digital universe? Sam, for example, is an attractive blonde from the industry pioneers Soul Machines, a technological company. Her characters are so realistic you wouldn't believe it if you saw it. And in addition, their speech is not prepared in advance by anyone. When communicating with Sam, you get answers instantly generated by algorithms. She can evolve over time based on her interactions with other people, and perhaps in the future we'll create our own avatars and move into the metaverse, and such digital people will act as NPCs in computer games. That is, play the role of accompanying a digital workforce. So what does the future hold for us? Will avatars replace real people? Well, we don't think that will happen, but they will definitely take their place. Some will use them to improve their self-esteem, find a way to make money from them in the digital world with digital currency. But, like social media, the digital world will not replace real life. Let us know what you think down below. Subscribe to the channel, like this video, and don't miss any new episodes from the world of high tech.